Welcome to Tuesdays with DX Engineering. And Tuesdays is the day that we talk to the DX Engineering staff about some of the things that are going on here at DX Engineering. Today, we have Michael, KI8R. Michael is part of the DX Engineering sales and support team. Hello, Michael.
Tim, how are you?
Good, good. Michael, you have done a lot of video work that is up on the DX Engineering YouTube channel. Why don't you talk about some of the work that you've done? I mean, with antenna analyzers, with all sorts of things, some of the subjects that you've already covered that are part of the DX Engineering YouTube portfolio.
Oh, we've talked about a lot of different things. Right to date, I have I think it's 40 different videos up there. And so one of the things we talked about, you mentioned antenna analyzers, the Rig Expert Match was one I've done recently. I don't need one, but boy, sure, I'd like to have one. One of the ones I've done most recently was one for the ACOM 1003, which is a brand new amplifier to us from ACOM. Heck of an amplifier, very quiet, full QSK, runs very cool because of the 3CX800 tube in it, and quite a bit cooler than my ACOM 2100, which has a 4CX1000. And also done some stuff with satellites, and that's in a series that I'm working on right now. I posted one video. I have one in the can ready to go up, and two more right behind those. So I've been busy.
So let's step through just for our viewers on what you talk about in these DX Engineering videos. For instance, the new ACOM amplifier that you just did a video on. What sort of in-depth areas do you go into?
Well, we kind of, and depending on what we're looking at, you take a 30,000 foot view of what the product is and what it can do and how easy it is to operate. So, for example, with the ACOM 1003, that particular amplifier will handle higher SWR than some other amps will. So, but it will still present a low SWR to your radio because it has tuned filters in it. So it's quite an amplifier. But try to take a 30,000 foot view. And we also do a lot of what's new at DXE videos, showing off, because we're constantly adding more and more and more. It's impossible to it's almost impossible to keep up with what we are bringing on board because so much is coming so fast.
So let's talk about some of the videos that you're working on here, and some of the products that you will be reviewing in your video series.
So, okay. So recently I started, like I said, the satellite series, and the first one I did was called Satellites 101. And so the Satellites 101, basically we kind of touched on the history of what started with satellites. And the thing I found really interesting when I was digging into this was this never would have gotten on Oscar 1, which Oscar stands for orbiting satellites carrying amateur radio, but that never would have gotten off the ground if it hadn't been for Senator Barry Goldwater, who is K7UGA, and General Curtis LeMay, who had several call signs. I think one was K0GRL. But just a lot of the history and how easy it is to get on satellites. Technicians can get on satellites and work a lot of people. So it's not just limited to the higher class licenses. But that's kind of some of the things that we're looking at currently.
Well, and satellites, if you haven't done satellites before, it is certainly, it's a mixed bag out there, and you can really struggle unless you have an Elmer. But this video that you did, Ham Radio Satellites 101, build an amateur station and talk to the birds. So this just goes step by step and is a very well produced video that you've done on how to do satellites and how many, so this has already got 3,100 views. We have 18,000 subscribers. to the YouTube channel. Talk about how you see the series of videos going, Michael.
Okay. So again, we started with the 101 series, the Satellites 101, but from there, I'm taking it to how to do it portably. So I have one of the E antennas, portable Yagis, that's a dual band Yagi that am using to show how easy it is to work the birds that way. And then taking it from there, showing how to build a basic station in your home using the M² circularly polarized vertical antennas, or what some people will call egg beaters. And from there, the final episode will be how to build a full out station with Yagis, the CSN Technologies controller, the ACOM 9700. So it's going to be, there's still a lot more to finish up here.
Well, yeah. And how many videos do you expect this to take?
This will be four in this whole series.
4. Okay. And they're all about 15 minutes each?
It'll vary, but the first one was probably the longest one. It'll be vary from 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. So, there's certainly, what about if somebody has a question about something that they see on the video? I mean, how can they interact with you, Michael, and how best to get a question answered?
Well, I do watch the comments and the videos. So ask a question there, send us an email at dxengineering@dxengineering.com and put attention Michael on it. I will look for it and I'll find it. So those are 2 easy ways to get there.
Great. Let's go to the chat room here and see who's on today. Jason is on, Kilo Queen 4 Uniform Echo India, and our friend from Mexico, X-Ray Echo 2 Zulu Zulu. Rodney's on from Dallas, Alpha Echo 5 Tango X-Ray, and Jason said you got clear node. That's great. Jason, Kilo Delta 2 Uniform Delta Radio from Arkansas. It's Kilo India 5 Uniform Sierra Sierra. And Jason says, my FTDX10 came back from repair unexpectedly. I see no paperwork as to what was fixed. Now to get my roof tower up and get it back on the air. And Jason, we wish you the best. And if there's anything we can do to help out, give us a call. Donnie, Kilo 4 Echo Kilo. He's looking forward to your satellite videos, Michael. And Karsten, Delta Mike 9 Echo at the DX Hotel in Holzminden, Germany. Just rebuilding my satellite antennas. He'll be soon back on the birds. And let's see here. Jason said he also got a Fox Tango 710. And our friend Mike 0 Delta X-Ray Radio is on. He's never operated satellites, but you're inspiring me. I think this might be something that appeals to youngsters. So I'm going to throw it to the conversation at the dinner table and see how my daughters react. Mike, what do you think about youth on the satellites?
I was watching one that Grace did recently. Grace is one of the youth that's active here, and she did an awesome presentation on satellites, and I think it's actually inspiring a lot of more youth to get on, because it's not just it's something that you can do, and you can do it for not a lot of money, especially with a handheld Yagi and even just a dual band handheld.
Right, and it's let's talk about cost. What is the minimum amount of money that you can put out and still be effective on the satellites?
Well, again, a dual band handheld, depending on which one you choose. I mean, if ideally you want something that is full duplex, but it's not totally necessary. The full duplex makes it nice because you can hear yourself coming back. But a lot of people do it with a half, with a half duplex handheld. And an FT60 is what, $160. The dual band Yagi is I think $200 or $300. So it's really not that expensive to make it happen.
Right. Yeah. the idea is that getting started and being effective so that it does work, because some of the satellites can be frustrating. I know that from firsthand experience, Michael, especially some of the FM satellites.
Right. But, I mean, if you work, and keep in mind that most of the FM cube type sats are really running 100 milliwatts, give or take. Something like the ISS, which has a full-on crossband repeater, is running 5 watts, so it's a lot easier to hear.
Right. So, and I'm sure you're going to walk through this in the videos as well. Let's see here. Let's scroll down. Our friend Kilo Golf 2, Mike is on. Always looking for call signs here, and from Jacksonville, Florida, and also our favorite pilot, Brian W7JET from out in Arizona, flies from Alaska Airlines, and it's Mark Alpha Bravo 8 Sierra X-Ray from Akron. He can drive to the store, Michael. That's always nice. And Ira's on, Victor Papa 2 Echo India Hotel. He's also J88 India Hotel. Hope to catch you guys on the birds. And KG2MM says, I've operated on the International Space Station several times from my mobile using the FTM 500. So that's really good. Larry is Kilo Bravo 0 Sierra Queen Whiskey. Good to have you on, Larry. And also Chris is on from Australia. It's really early in the morning there. And Iris says our local ham, Papa Juliet 7 Alpha Radio, was at PJ7K, and he made a QSO with November Alpha 1 Sierra. And so that is cool as well. And of course, Chris over there in Australia, that's Victor Kilo 3 Fox Yankee. And Jason asks a question for you, Michael. What would you recommend an SMA antenna for ClearNode?
I am not familiar with the ClearNode, so I don't have a good answer.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Jason. I'm sure somebody here at DX Engineering knows about ClearNode, but I'm not. Neither Michael or I have experience, and so you might want to call into the 800 number, and we can get you fixed up. Israel is on. Kilo Papa 4 Papa Uniform Alpha from Puerto Rico. So lots of guys watching today. And of course, conditions are really good right now, Michael. The sun is rotating back to an area where there's lots of sunspot activity and the bands are going nuts again. It's going to be great for the next 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, I've been out doing lots of POTA here in the last couple of weeks and had some good conditions. It was a really good opening on 10. I think it was last Friday where I was hearing Europe at 3:00 in the afternoon. So that's unusual.
Yeah, you can't beat that. When you hear Europe that late from Ohio. And what park were you at, Michael?
I've been at least 5 or 6 different parks in the last 2 weeks.
Wow. Oh, that's great. The Parks on the Air is so much fun. And so between satellites, Parks on the Air, and everything else you're doing, taking care of customers, Michael, thank you so much for what you do. And thanks to all the DX Engineering staff that we have watching today as well. And Jamie's on from St. Croix. It's Kilo Papa 2 Bravo. Nice to have you on, Jamie. And thanks to all of you for watching today. Hope you had fun. Stay tuned to the YouTube channel. Look for Michael Murphy, Kilo India 8R, and his videos on the DX Engineering YouTube channel. And until next time, 73 from DX Engineering.
73.